Okay, well, we're now moving back to microphone number 1.
Thank you, Chair. I have a question from Craig Caulfield.
Thank you, Chair. A background to this is we're all aware of 13 interest rate rises and during COVID savings built up. But since then we're just starting to use some of our savings up, and I understand there's going to be 5% of the people with home loans that won't be able to afford their loan soon. In 2018, UBS revealed 500 billion of the 2 trillion loan market were liar loans. UBS identified back then in 2018, ANZ was the worst offender with 45% of loans classified as liar loans. I say ANZ being under pressure to regain lost market share, along with their agents, brokers, were complicit. That's likely why ANZ refused to have our loan application file forensically tested that we requested years ago. But on a wider scale, on the 26th of April 22, so more recently, Ayesha de Kretser reported in the Financial Review that UBS updated the figures on liar loans, and ANZ was still identified as having more liar loans than any other bank. So whether you dispute the figures or the amounts, there's still a relative thing here. More worryingly, customers said their ANZ bankers told them to do it. ANZ has said auditor KPMG don't audit individual loan applications, just the systems, the structures that are above the applications. At the CBA AGMs, I asked a question to the CEO, Matt Common, and I said, why don't you individually interrogate loan application files for just 100 loans? He said, oh, Mr. Caulfield, we do that individually, granularly on more than 100 loans, rest assured. Will ANZ confirm right now to adopt granular auditing of just 1/10 of 1% of your loans to look for these fraudulent situations? And will you agree to have Scott's loan application file forensically tested by an agreed professional?
Can I just start by saying there are very clear obligations for us as a lender in how we lend and in the standards that we follow. And you won't be surprised to hear that we don't agree with the characterization that's been put in the report that you referred to. We're very clear around assessment. I think there's also evidence, that first report is 2018. Here we are today, and our 90 days past due and our home loan default rates are actually tracking below where they were before 2019, which to some extent doesn't seem to support the claims that are made in that particular publication. Shane, did you want to add anything?
Not really, other than we do that. We do forensically sample home loan applications. That would be prudent and sensible, and we've done that for many years, and we'll continue to do so. Thanks.
Okay, well, last year you did say that you found an extra 2,500 home loans that fit that category.
Which category?
That you found through artificial intelligence that you wouldn't have otherwise found. So they're out there, they're happening.
I don't recall saying any such thing, but...
Well, I asked the question at the AGM in Adelaide. So,
we'll go and have a look, but I don't recall suggesting...
More generally, what incentive would we ever have to allow people to rot the system? Because it's going to come back on you pretty fast. If I recall, the average term of a home loan in Australia today before someone refinances is about 3 to 4 years. So these things are going to pop up pretty quickly if you're not getting your house in order. So
I think liar loans is like one term, and it's a basket of different things. It's sometimes the broker, sometimes the bank, sometimes the customer that fudges figures, etc.
I understand. I understand your point. And obviously we would be deeply concerned if people were misleading, lying, falsifying documents. Of course it would be a concern. And that's why we have the processes we have in place to test and look at the applications, either using algorithms or individuals to see if something is, not sensible or not prudent, etc. But I think what the chairman's trying to say here, Craig, is that at the end of the day, the facts speak for themselves. The actual number of people who are struggling with their home loan is at extraordinarily low levels. Now, it's still difficult for those people, I accept that, but it's about 0.6% of all the home loans we have where people are struggling. Doesn't mean they're going to lose their home or default, they're just struggling. That number, despite the allegations that you put, is lower than the average in the industry. Yeah? So it shows you that actually ANZ is performing very well when it comes to our credit processes and our standards. And of course, it's something that we spend huge amounts of time and people and money and effort and technology looking at, because it's one of the biggest, quite rightly, as you point out, it's one of the biggest risks that we take. We have $300 billion of home loans. Of course we passionately care that they're given responsibly to the right people who can afford to continue to pay without undue pressure on their household budgets.
Okay.
I'm looking to the future here, that we're just taking care of customers. Whatever the numbers are, we're heading into an area where savings have been depleted and interest rates are higher. ANZ's economists have predicted that unemployment next year will be greater. The following year will be greater again.
We understand.
There's going to be a small portion, but a significant portion. So when I know, Shane, that you've said, there is no mortgage cliff, but on an individual basis in a family, for a person, there's a cliff.
Sure.
Once you can't face that. It mightn't be a cliff the way the media has portrayed it, but we've got to take care of the board, the staff, the shareholders have got to take care of every customer that gets into a difficult situation. I know that what we've been through, we weren't looked after. We wrote letters to the bank saying, can we change the terms of the loan to get an extension of the term of the loan, a lower rate or something? We received letters
Craig,
back.
I think we said we'd talk outside because I don't want to get individual
we got letters back
complaints.
from the bank
Right.
saying we haven't heard from you and we're going to put you in repossession and default. You repossessed our property and we've got multiple letters, registered mail. We're trying to do something.
So I don't think this is the
you
forum.
have silos.
I don't think this is the forum for individual issues, but your general point is
Well,
is
I
a
do
good
want
one.
to protect the people in the future.
So one of the things we're also doing is investing very heavily in predictive technology to try and spot
Yes,
customers
that's good.
who might be under pressure early. And that's actually proven to be quite a success for us this year in improving the repayment rates and picking up defaults. I'm going to keep moving because I know there's a lot of people who want to ask questions online who are waiting. So thank you, Craig.